So we've gotten together our business process and said, here's the inputs. Let's create, or let's look at the standard steps of the methodology. What's everybody doing out there? What's the prevailing wisdom out there? Well, do the triage of the case as if it is a forensics investigation. So say, in our triage, we'll keep that. Then we'll determine the preliminary approach. We see that this is the problem, this is our escalation procedure, this is what we're supposed to be following, and then we'll do a detailed approach. Okay, so in our preliminary approach, we're going to need, let's see, what kind of machine is that? Okay, fine, let's go ahead and create the reference machine over here. What kind of machine is that? What kind of image did it come from? Okay, we'll pull up that image in our virtualized lab and get ready for it. Oh, this has to deal with CP. Well, we know at that point in time, immediately we stop everything. We maintain the scene and the people at it, and we call law enforcement. What's the detailed approach? Okay, you have to have the phone number for law enforcement. You have to have 2 or 3 phone numbers for law enforcement and be able to escalate the process as you see fit. You have to put a detailed procedure in place that maybe cordons it off with, evidence line, basically saying do not cross. This is evidence at this point. Figure out what the needed resources for that particular detailed approach are, and then start obtaining evidence, copying that evidence, identifying all the risk involved in this, and minimize those risks as best you possibly can. Next, what you'll do is you'll test the design. So you've said, this is my test plan, I've got this data here, and now I'm actually going to see, okay, I see this particular machine right here is doing this particular activity, or if it's dead and you're just looking at the actual, not live forensics, but you're actually looking at the evidence after the fact, you say, how do I create that piece of evidence? What steps does it take to generate that particular file? I'll do that on my reference system over here. Then what you're doing is you're analyzing the recovered digital evidence, and you're kind of comparing these two at this point. You're investigating that digital evidence when you do that comparison, and when you start collecting all that up. As you work through your investigation, you collect up all your evidence, you roll this up into a case, you report on that case, and then you say, okay, how do we stop this from happening in the future? It may be malware, and you say, well, the easy thing for us to do there is to do more aggressive patch management. If it's CP, it may be that we do a background check and we require that anybody who has a history of this particular offense is not allowed to do this, or we're going to go ahead and discriminate against those people because of this particular activity. We can't have those people in our organization. Maybe that you're allowed to do that by your laws. Aren't allowed to do that. So that's the standard steps for the methodology, and we're going to dig deeper into these as we go along.